Ask Professor Dave.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Ask Professor Dave. This is where I answer all the common questions that I get on my channel. Today I want to cover a question that I do get quite a lot, and it arrives because a lot of you see sort of on the edge of my arm, I have a tattoo showing, and a lot of you want to know, what is that? What is that tattoo all about? It looks kind of space related, and it is. So I wanted to take the opportunity to give you a closer look here and explain a little bit about what it is. So you can clearly see that it says 1 parsec here, and that's a unit of astronomical distance. And so this is the way that we describe distances within our galaxy, how far away stars are within the Milky Way. And so what we do is, it's quite interesting, where we can look at where an object is in our galaxy at a certain time, and then we can look again when the Earth is in another part of the orbit around the sun, like on the other side of the sun. That will generate an apparent shift in the object's location. So it'll appear to be in a slightly different place in the sky. It's a very small angle, but we can measure it with modern telescopes. And so from this triangle, we can see that here's the Earth and the sun. So we know the distance between the Earth and the sun. That's called 1 astronomical unit. And if we can measure this angle, it's called the parallax method. We can see how far away the object is. So par is for parallax, and sec is for arcsecond. That's when this angle is 1 arcsecond. That's a 60th of a 60th of a degree, so it's a very tiny angle. When that angle is 1 arcsecond, this distance is 1 parsec. So it's a standardized unit of distance. It's about 3¼ light years. So the closest sun to the Earth, apart from our own sun, is a little over 1 parsec away. So that's what my tattoo is. I don't want to say too much else because I actually am going to be describing it in more detail in my upcoming astronomy series that I'm writing. So over here I do have a bunch of books on my desk about astronomy, and I'm going to be taking about a month to write that astronomy content and put that out for you guys. And so the reason I got the tattoo is that astronomy inspires me in general. The idea, science in general, but the idea that we have a unit of distance for objects in space, it represents the notion that we understand space, that we understand the universe around us, that we can look at some star and say concretely how far away it is. It's a very powerful concept, and it inspires me. And beyond that, simply the fact that I would love to go to space. I would love to go anywhere in space, to all the lands that I imagine that we might colonize in the distant future. And it makes me sad every day that I probably won't. But even to just get up to orbit and look down would be enough for me. So to look at this every day and be inspired by it and think about how I ought to strive for greatness in order to be able to experience great things, it's very important to me. So that's that tattoo. I also want to show you another tattoo that maybe you can't see so well in the tutorials, and that's this one here. And so some of you may recognize that as the red mushroom from the Mario games. It's actually not the 1-up mushroom, it's the one that makes Mario bigger. And so maybe you can see my Mario and Luigi over there, and then in there is my old NES, SNES, and N64 gaming systems, which probably to some of you younger people make me sound pretty old, but when I was a young person, they were state-of-the-art, absolutely the best systems. And I'll go on record saying that I'm absolutely unbeatable in Mario Kart 64. No one can beat me. I challenge you. If you think you can, give me a shout. I've never met anyone that's better than me. So there's that. For further evidence of my Mario obsession, you can check out this medley I made on the piano of a number of Mario themes. So on the base level, that's part of the tattoo, is just that Mario has always been a big deal for me. But to go a little more into the Mario mythology, it can help elucidate why this symbol means so much to me. And it is the fact that people don't really think about Mario in this way. They're just sort of used to Mario. But if you really think about the story of Mario, he is a plumber from Brooklyn. So he's the everyman. I mean, he's the common man. He's working class, immigrant, just nothing special about him at all. And yet he is able to go into the Mushroom Kingdom and kill a dragon and save a princess. So these are the classic tasks reserved for knights and heroes and things like that. So the message is that if this plumber from Brooklyn can do it, it means that anybody can do anything. And so that is also very inspiring to me. And so Mario is kind of my spirit animal, so to speak, or my spirit guide, and not just because I resemble him, but for those reasons. It's inspiring to think that he could do something like that, even if it's just a video game. And so that which brings Mario strength brings me strength, and that's why that sits on my bicep right there. So those are my two tattoos, and I don't have any others at the moment, although I do think that I probably will get more, maybe 2 or 3 more over my lifetime. I don't really think I'll ever be covered in tattoos, but I love the 2 I have, and I could definitely see myself having a couple more. As for the parsec one, I'll give you another look at that. If you enjoy that kind of imagery and those kinds of concepts, look forward to the astronomy tutorials. As always, if you like my content and you want to see more of it and faster, the best way to get that is to support me on Patreon, because YouTube income alone does not support me, and so I have to take other freelance work to support myself. But I would love to not do that. I would love to just do this. And so if I can get enough support on Patreon, I can work at it absolutely full time. I can hire an animator to help me out. I can hire people to help me with various production related tasks. So any help on Patreon would be greatly appreciated. And other than that, I'll see you next time.